Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Jimmy Wisenhunt. I'm a senior designer here on H1Z1. H1Z1 is a game recently announced by Sony Online Entertainment. That's us. And we're going to be running through it today and showing you guys a little bit about it. It is a post-apocalyptic survival MMO. Persistent MMO throughout the world. Things are going to be as you expect them. Obviously, one of the first things you want to do when you get in a game is craft something. Campfires are important if you watch Bear Grylls or any of those guys. So we want it to be exactly as you would expect. You see a tree, you have an axe, you're going to chop at the tree. The tree's going to fall, and you're going to get some wood from it. So as you can see, this is popping down right now. We are in a pre-alpha state right now, so you'll see some things pop up instantaneously, but you get the gist of it. From there, I can actually go straight in, craft things like campfires, and actually up here in just a moment, I'm going to do a little bit of our discovery system. Crafting within our game is probably one of the most, I would say, intricate and best ways to survive in the game. So I'm going to grab the wood that I just had, I'm going to throw it in here, I'm going to click discover, and it's going to tell me one thing I can discover from that. So I can now make wood planks, which I'm going to do real quick. So I have a wood plank. This is pretty linear, but once I do this, I can make a wood stick. And now we start getting a little more complicated, so I can do something like this. Now you notice these two are highlighted, which means these two can go together. And through experimentation, I can now make an animal trap, which will pop up here in just a second. That's something we can plop into the world, and it's going to catch rabbits and things, and be able to kill that rabbit, cook it over a fire, and have a good time, hopefully with a full belly, and not getting murdered by wildlife in our game. Real quick, a couple of these things we're finding right here, oh my god, I'm going to get killed by a wolf, are some more high-end things within our games. So there are foundations that I'm grabbing from this container right here. Now, foundations are your intro to building into the game. We'll show that here in just a little bit. But typically, this would take a player a long time to accomplish. It takes a lot of materials to build into our world. So we're going to go ahead and show that off regardless, just so everyone get a taste of what to expect. But back to the discovery for just a moment. I'll have some inventory space from the backpack I just picked up. I am going to grab this time. Actually, first I'm going to take my shirt off, because why not? Every excuse to take your shirt off is a good one, right? So I have some cloth now. So I'm going to take this cloth, I'm going to take this wood stick, and this is still highlighted, it's animal fat. And all these together are going to actually come out to a torch. So I can now make my favorite melee weapon in the game for probably obvious reasons. Fire's great, fire's good. We learned pretty quickly while giving them to players in the beginning, like the first thing you get when you spawn as a torch is a bad idea. Suddenly everything burns to ashes and people are screaming at each other at the office, and it wasn't exactly a desirable experience right off the bat. Vehicles in our game, which I just jumped into here, are going to be found in various states of disrepair, right? So these things are going to be missing a wheel, they're going to be missing batteries. This one's in pretty good shape, just so we can kind of run around and show the dynamics of them. We are leveraging the PlanetSide 2 Forge Light engine, for those maybe familiar with that, which has a really dynamic tuning system for vehicles. In that particular game, we have everything from a quad, like a little four-wheeler, all the way up to tanks into aircraft. So we can do a lot with this game as we move forward. So right up here, I'm going to stop and I'm going to plop down a foundation real quick. It's going to look a little wonky because I didn't craft this all together. That would normally take a while. But I am going to right-click here and click Place. This is going to pop up. This is a more high-end foundation. You can see it's on stilts. This is your beginning to putting a permanent footprint into the world. So I'm going to run up top here. There's going to be, actually, we have it in right now. Right now I only have these pre-crafted little areas. We decided we're going to try to see what players think of having some pre-crafted buildings that cost a little bit more in resources, but they're easy to plop down, and they're just kind of, I need to put this down and have some storage. Or I need to cordon this area off. I don't want to put the walls down. So here's a shed. Now, freeform walls all the way around. You have your doors and the roof and everything else. But for right now, this is something we've been talking about and trying to get in right before early access, and let's see what players think about, is instead of just having a home that's just something to live in or just store things in, you could be more of a survivalist and be more self-sustainable. Like in our world, it's post-apocalyptic. Like I won't even drink out of the lake in Oklahoma, where I'm from, where there might be 2,000 people, much less in a world where things might have gone nuts. So you can take an empty bottle, which, shoot, I don't have right now. You can actually run out here, fill an empty bottle. It'll give you dirty water if you get it from most water sources, and it's going to hurt you. You can filter and boil that water out if you'd like. But really later on, as you start building your own claims and areas, this is a dew collector, and it'll be a consistent source of fresh water. It'll take time, as well as catch rain, obviously, the way this is set up. Which, by the way, this is a more optimistic northwestern type day. This is some of the days we are going to bring in the clouds here. Every day at a certain time, it's going to decide what the next day will be like. These are the two extremes. very, very clear day and very, very cloudy. It can go anywhere between those two, and it will also pick what type of precipitation you'll see for that day. It can go anywhere from a very basic light drizzle, which may be a little bit hard to see on stream. It's a very light, all the way up to something like this, where it'll almost immediately affect the world in multiple ways. Your character gets wet, you can see your weapon itself actually shines in the light and everything, and the water will start pooling on the ground. Now that's going to affect your character in the way that your clothes are wet. If it's cold outside, you need to get out of it, and you need to be careful. You can get sick. And beyond that, vehicle dynamics are obviously going to change as well, because wet roads and different types of vehicles will react differently. Currently, you're going to find yourself, when you get into the game, I actually need to run over here and grab a little bit more wood. Right now in the game, when you first start off and you want to build a campfire, especially if it's raining outside, you can actually go directly underneath a tree like this. So you're going to go through, I'm going to craft a quick campfire, and I'm going to put it down right about here. So it's actually not raining on me right now. Oh, I'm sorry, it was. The campfire might just be on the inside. Perfect. So you can actually keep yourself dry, keep yourself warm over the night. Obviously, it's dangerous to be out here in the wide open with a source of light at night, but it's still better than the alternative of dying of hypothermia over the next couple days. There are also the options. We did a 12-hour Twitch live stream where we let the community decide what we were going to develop for them within 12 hours from beginning to end, and it was barricades. So barricades will also allow the player to find pre-existing homes within the world that we've placed as designers in residential areas, or in the middle of nowhere, there are cabins, and take those over for themselves. Permanently or temporarily. I doubt permanence will be a thing, because you put barricades on windows, it's a big flag saying, hey, I'm in here crafting right now. So it is a good way to get out of the rain, though, and board things up and be safe from zombies as long as you're quiet. I'm going to swap this out real quick. Weapons in our game, like assault rifles, are not craftable. We don't want that to be the case. It's a little weird to fully craft a stamped assault rifle that's made by experts in the field and straight out of a forge that's homemade. So you'll have to scavenge high-end weapons like the AR-15s, the M16s, the 1911s, and all that sort of stuff. I want you to quickly note how much ammo I have right now. So around 120 bullets total, and this seems like a relatively small engagement. It's not a massive one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring these guys over to me. It is a little dark outside, so if I make noise and they don't see me, they're drawn to the noise. And actually, these guys obviously saw me. That was a horrible attempt at what I was trying to do. I'm going to run the house real quick. Engaging these guys directly, even if I had enough ammo to take them all down, probably still wouldn't be a good idea. They may not be as fast as me, but there are a lot of them. You get yourself in close quarters, they can quickly overwhelm you. So I'm going to try to run through here. And it looks like we're going to be, oh my god, in a lot of trouble. So I am, just for the fun of it, just for the sake of a demo, going to do something I personally, because my playstyle would never do in the game, is try to directly take a lot of these guys on. And so far, not so hot. Already down to just 90 bullets left from the 120, and I can't turn on fast enough to kill all these guys, actually. See if we can actually jump back in and get a good bearing on at least one of them. My favorite thing is still catching one of those guys on fire, just so I get some sort of light source. Sadly, I killed the wrong one, which was the guy on fire, so it's gone now, and I think I'm still alive. Never mind. I'm actually going to make this. So I'm going to try to run back to the car now. One of the best courses of action. It's kind of a last resort thing. Vehicles are going to be very important in this game, and by running zombies over and over again, you're going to start doing damage to your vehicle. But this is a last resort type situation where I could keep running, but I wouldn't be able to pay much attention. Could run into a wolf or something. So I'm going to jump in the off-roader and have fun with the ragdoll that we've put in. Screen's a little dark right now, so for the sake of the demo, if hopefully you don't mind, I'm going to hit this fancy button that brings my health back to normal. Don't expect that in early access, guys. But yeah, beyond that, just a couple quick things. We are a full 24-hour day-night cycle game. This is a day at noon on a rainy, gloomy day. You may... Hey, dude, what are you doing? You may recognize this from the Pacific Northwest type area. It's really what we're trying to go for here. And yeah, definitely excited to get to early access. Got a couple more features we're working on. We want to make sure that we have things like prone in the game. We will not go to early access without prone. We will not go without the basics of durability, which are very much rapidly coming online. We want to make sure that it's the game you guys expect when it gets to early access. And well, guys, that's H1Z1 in a nutshell. There's a lot more to come. Every day, more and more things are coming online. I hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned, h1z1.com, at H1Z1Game on Twitter. And, of course, I'm Jimmy Wizenhunt, and that's at Jimmy Wiz. Please stay in touch with us, and stay tuned for more streams.